Are you ready?
Are you ready?
For a podcast hosted by George T.
Who the hell are you?
I am the movie geek.
Who are you?
I am the movie geek.
You are such a geek.
Thank you.
And now, on with the show.
It's time!
It's showtime.
It's showtime. Here we go.
Welcome back to the Movie Geek Podcast. My name is George T, and I'm your host as always. And we've got a relatively short podcast here. I will do a few movie reviews and touch on the weekend's box office for this weekend, which seems to be very competitive at the moment, and that's a good thing for the summer after all of the movies going through early on, and the numbers haven't been as big, and now it looks like it is getting to be a regular type movie season after all, and that is a good thing. And that is a good thing because we should be seeing movies in the theater and not waiting for them to come on streaming services, or we should bring back the DVDs, because I have been noticing going through stores that a lot of stores aren't carrying DVDs anymore, and there's only one place now that I can buy them online other than Amazon, and I don't know why the prices are so high on these things. If they are going to be irrelevant soon, why are you jacking up prices? But we're not going to go through all of that. So I will mention that a special edition of the Movie Geek Podcast will be tomorrow night. It is my special interview with my guest that I've been hyping up for a while now. Her name is Jennifer Nagel. On my YouTube channel, I have put up her links to her stuff. She is a very talented actress, obviously not well known, but as an independent filmmaker and artist, she is an amazing talent. And if you have not seen my YouTube channel, please go to the YouTube channel and look at her stuff. Also, you can look at my paranormal stuff, which I was looking up this morning. It's starting to do well, and I've got some major stuff coming out. But again, this is about the movies, and we're going to look at last weekend's box office number. And again, an outstanding weekend for Inside Out 2. It made another $101 million. I mean, just incredible that this movie has really resonated with the movie-going audience, and it is doing very, very well. Number 2 was Bad Boys Ride or Die for the second straight week at 18.8. The Bike Riders, which I will be seeing with my girlfriend Ashley this weekend, it was debuting in third at 9.6 million. And then, strangely enough, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes just keeps hanging around the top 5. It was number 3 the week before. It made 3.8 in fourth place. Garfield movie hanging on as well. Went from fourth place to fifth place at 3.7. The new movie, The Exorcism, which I knew was not going to do well, did not fare well at all. $2.4 million. And Kinds of Kindness came out as well, but it was only in select theaters, so it made less than 500,000. Now, the numbers are a little sketchy because it said it was only on 7 screens, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So what? It only opened in a certain area? Because I know the 2 theaters that I go to or frequent had the movie. So what, was it only a certain location? So I don't know, but it is out in theaters fully this weekend, so we'll see how that winds up. Obviously, if you loved Poor Things, you're probably going to gravitate toward this movie. Also opening this weekend is A Quiet Place Day 1. I'm definitely going to try to see that this weekend as well. And then a movie that has gotten some critical reviews already, Horizon, the Kevin Costner Western film. It is the American Saga Part 1. And I do not know why critics really just don't give Kevin Costner enough credit for his westerns. He loves westerns. I mean, Yellowstone was a huge series, and he announced that on his social media that he will not be doing another season of Yellowstone, but they will have another season at some point with somebody else, or maybe they'll just cancel it altogether, but he does not want to do another one. And now he wants to focus on some other projects. Again, his westerns or departures from certain genres have had critics really just after him. And I'm not sure why exactly, but I think he's a very talented actor and director. And we'll see how that movie comes out when it comes to the box office. So you've got, obviously right now, you've got Bike Riders out there. You have Inside Out 2. You have Bad Boys. And again, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes doing really well. And obviously Kinds of Kindness is coming out this weekend. Horizon, An American Saga Part 1, and A Quiet Place Day 1. So it should be an interesting box office weekend. I think A Quiet Place will do at least $20 to $30 million. I think, and will it be able to challenge Inside Out 2, which has just been curb stomping competition through the first 2 weeks that it's been open? Who knows? Horizon may not be for everyone, so I'm not sure where this is going to fall in, but I would assume it will be in the top 10. Maybe make 10 or 15 million. So we'll see. And like I said, I'm going to try to get to see A Quiet Place, and I'm definitely seeing The Bike Riders, though. My girlfriend and I are definitely going to go see this movie. So with that being said, a couple of quick news bites. And so it has come to my attention that Hallmark is going to be doing a movie based on Travis and Taylor Swift. It's not going to be directly about them, but it's going to be some kind of holiday movie around the love of the Chiefs. Gag me if you want to, but I can't for the life of me understand this. Look, Travis Kelce, great player. Taylor Swift, pop star icon. Let them just be. I know we are in the age of clicks and likes and all that other stuff, but just let them be. All right? If they wind up getting married, great. If they don't, Taylor will make another beautiful song about it. I mean, just let these two just go about their business. But now we've got this, great thing about, oh, we're going to make a Hallmark movie about this. All right, well, fine. Probably won't be reviewing that when it comes out and during Christmas time. I mean, Christmas, what a great time for a true American love story. All right, that's enough of that. So, an interesting bit of news came out. A24 reportedly eyeing Charlize Theron to play Mrs. Voorhees in a Friday the 13th miniseries. Again, another franchise that probably doesn't need to keep going, but hey, if Charlize Theron is going to be in this in this series, you know what? I'm all for it. I love Charlize Theron. I think she's super talented. And again, are we nitpicking? Are we just so out of ideas that we're going to reboot things in a different perspective? I guess so, but we need some originality. I mean, I know we love to reminisce about the old movies, but there are just some things that movies should just not be rebooted. There's some good stuff that does not need to be rebooted on a constant basis. And one bit of really good news I saw on social media, the Hall of Fame, Walk of Fame for the movie actors, Jessica Chastain is going to be a part of the Walk of Fame. So, I'm a huge fan of hers. So, congratulations to Jessica. If somebody's out there and knows her, tell her to come on my podcast. I know I'm shooting shots everywhere. When I met Bryce Dallas Howard, I did an appreciative post and put it out there on the social medias, and I haven't heard back yet. But it is what it is. It is. So that being said, not much news here, but we will get into some reviews really quickly here. I saw a really good documentary that Netflix put out called Remembering Gene Wilder. Fantastic story about his life and tragic end. Alzheimer's is no joke, and just it was sad to watch. The ending of this with, obviously he's been gone for a while, but the man was a genius, and I hope that you guys will check that out. I would definitely recommend it. It talks about his life and how he met Mel Brooks, and that was kind of how he got started. He was a stage actor, and he wound up, meeting Mel Brooks because his wife was working on a production of some musical, and I cannot remember it for the life of me. Probably should have wrote it down, But, and that is how it came to be, where he met Mel Brooks. He put him in his first movie, which was The Producers, and that friendship really got things going. And then eventually he got Willy Wonka, and he was just brilliant in Willy Wonka. And then, subsequently he, just continued to have a great career, and unfortunately, dying of Alzheimer's, it's sad, really. It's tough, what can you say about it, And then, speaking of Netflix, trigger warning, this movie is pretty good. I'm gonna state right off the bat, I will give it no thumbs up, no thumbs down. So basically, just it's watchable. And Jessica Alba is really actually good in this film. I know we haven't seen her in much lately, and the story is she's an ex-military, and she goes back to her hometown once she finds out her dad is dead, and basically figures out that he'd been murdered, and is now on the hunt to find out her killer, her father's killer. And she kicks ass in this movie, and she did a lot of commando stuff, and the movie reminded me of Commando back in the day with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I really think she put a lot into it, and I think it definitely deserves the number one spot in Netflix right now, and I definitely say check it out. It is kind of slow a little bit. Anthony Michael Hall is in it as well, but the whole delivery and theme of the movie comes through in it, and Again, for the people that don't like slow moving action, but they're trying to build a story. So for that, I definitely think it is watchable. Jessica Alba did a really good job, and that's why I say see it. See it. It is number one right now on Netflix, and rightfully so. Also, let's go back to Netflix real quick. Under Paris is finally off the top 10, and I just want to mention this one more time. I do not know what the big deal of this movie is, and I told you in the last episode that it is definitely thumbs down all the way. So again, Netflix has got to slow down on these movies. I know they've made some good ones. Hitman was good, and there's countless others. Trigger Warning was good, but I want to talk about this movie right now called The Inheritance. It is another French film. It is not subtitled. It is dubbed as well. So the tagline for this movie is, if you love Knives Out, it is a movie like Knives Out. Okay. So let's just say, stop making remakes of good films in French. Okay? Or bad films in French, in the case of Under Paris. Why would you take Jaws Revenge and put it in France and then not even do subtitles? Like, horrible. So now you take Knives Out and you put it in a French dubbed movie, but just miss the entire mark of what what Knives Out was doing. So you have, again, these family members who come upon their father's estate. He is dying, and he, fakes his own death at the beginning, and they're like, "Oh, let's see, how we're going to split the money and this, that, and the other." And then he winds up not being dead and realizing that, some of his kids want his money, the others don't really want his money. And, it hijinks ensues. Their father was a game show host, and, obviously he came into his fortune. Well, one night, during an argument with one of his kids, and again, I'll ruin the back end of the movie, but it was over the inheritance that he was due, and he winds up stabbing the father. Well, not really the kid, but the husband of one of the kids. And now they have to figure out who actually murdered the father and so on. And so they finger, obviously, the daughter first, and then the husband says, "Oh, I did it." And then explains that it was an accidental. He thought he was joking around, and then he wound up stabbing him. Again, this movie is just absolute trash. So, again, sometimes when you read movies, bylines, or you see trailers, sometimes they're just not good. And sometimes they look good, but they're not good. And that is what you get with The Inheritance. So I say this is going to be another thumbs down on this one. If you like movies that are dubbed instead of reading subtitles, then go ahead and watch it if you want to laugh or two. Although I will say it's not that funny. So I think, you know what, I'm going to do 2 thumbs down. Don't even bother watching. It's not even that funny. Netflix, you missed the mark on this one. Speaking of missing marks, at the beginning of this year, First Omen came out. Obviously a prequel to the original Omen back in the 1970s. Again, why are we digging up prequels to, link to originally good movies? Omen and Omen 2 were good. And then after that, anything Omen was a money grab. Even the reboot in 2006, when they tried to reboot the series, or the series of movies, absolute reboot, money grab. So this movie now is a link to the original movie. And I definitely have to give this a thumbs down. Not 2 thumbs down, because it's not totally that bad. The premise of the movie is okay. The execution of the movie, however, not so good. And I'll explain in a minute. So the link or connection to the original movie was that this woman from the USA is chosen to go to France to take the vow of a nun. All right, so basically she's a guinea pig at this point. She winds up being a roommate of this other woman who is also going to be, made into a nun. However, one night they go out dancing, and they get a little tipsy, and so on, and then she meets this guy, and she doesn't sleep with him, but she wakes up the next morning. She has no recollection of what happened. Well, certain things start to happen. She's looking after this girl that nobody wants to deal with. She is seemingly in this movie the Antichrist, so to speak. She is the vessel for the Antichrist. And the nun from America is trying to figure out why they're ostracizing her, or why she's treated such a way. And eventually a priest runs into the nun and tells of this story of the devil, and that the girl that she is trying to help may be a vessel for the devil, and that the monastery that she's at right now is a haven for the devil itself. And now she's like, oh my god, what? Like, that's awful. Why would you say this? And blah blah blah. So eventually things start happening to her, and she finally figures it out that, whoa, there's something bad going on here. And of course, she really doesn't know what's going on. She starts to uncover some stuff, and then she realizes that the child that she is looking after, or trying to look after, in her teenage years, has the mark of the devil, 666. And now it's all starting to unravel. She goes to, the priest that, she thought was crazy. They're trying to figure out, what is going to happen to this girl, and so on. But a very big truth comes out, where this American girl who wanted to be a nun so badly has become the actual target of the nuns in this monastery to bring to life Damien. And this is the strange part about this movie, and this is where it gets me crazy. As a Catholic, watching this is just, I don't know, it's so far-fetched for me. I know that in this political climate and religious climate that people are turning away from the churches. So this movie harpens on the fact that the nuns and the priests in this movie in the Vatican are trying to get the people to come back to the church by thinking that they can make a deal with the devil and bring the Antichrist to life to draw scared people back to the church. Again, what kind of premise is this? Look, you can pray to any god you want. I'm not saying that. I'm not going to talk religion because, quite frankly, it's just not something that I do. I'm a Catholic. The end of it. You can pray to any god you want, or you don't have to pray to any god or go to church at all. So, this now entails a backstory now where they start to figure out that this woman may actually have been a part of bringing the devil together alive. So she gets into this bizarre, crazy thing, and she starts to remember what happened that night. So the night she was dancing with the guy, she was taken out of the club and then brought down to the monastery, down in the basement, where the devil was waiting for her with all of the nuns and priests and cardinals and all that other stuff, where they wanted him to mate with her. And so you see this thing, and as I was thinking about this, I'm like, how does this happen? Or how crazy of an idea is this? And it's not even the fact that somebody wrote this to, I mean, obviously the first Omen and the Omen, the original Omen, just far-fetched, ideas. But I guess at the time when the Omen was originally made, that was kind of the whole premise of it, was that there was a lack of, the Catholic Church or Christian Church or whatever church. There was just a non-religious movement at the time, and they figured, we'll make a horror movie about it, where the devil is going to come and, and rule the world. So anyway, getting back to this. So now the priest that is trying to help her is now trying to, is trying to save her. So the night he's trying to get away from the monastery with her, there's an accident, and all of a sudden, her water breaks. She's not pregnant at all in this thing, and besides the fact that it probably only took a month, and I was saying to myself, man, that devil, he works fast. He works very fast. They always say Jesus works fast. When he turned the water into wine, and it's just crazy to think that the spawn of Satan came that quickly. Oh man. So I was like, wait, we're not even waiting 9 months? Like, I know I'm gonna just look. This movie is just bad. So she winds up having twins, of all things. Now, one boy and one girl. So the priest only wants the boy. For some reason, doesn't want the girl. And Ashley had come downstairs to watch the ending of this movie, and she's like, well, why wouldn't they want both? Like, if they targeted her to birth the Antichrist, well, what happens if, the boy dies? Don't they want another, female to try to, have another baby? And I'm like, your guess is as good as mine. So eventually they try to burn the place down with the devil and the mom and the other baby. She winds up escaping, but the devil doesn't. So she winds up escaping through the help of the one teenager that she was trying to care for. The movie ends with them living in a cabin somewhere far away. Great. Good ending. Good ending. she survives somehow a C-section and a fire with a little baby and a teenager. This movie is just not good. So I would recommend never seeing this movie. Watch the original Omen or Omen 2. There you go. There's my recommendations. So again, this is going to be a short one. I will have better reviews and more news next week, but I also want to mention one more time the special podcast that I will be putting out tomorrow for my first interview with Jennifer, and I hope that you will enjoy this one. I hope you enjoy that one, and many more to come. I am working on trying to get some new software for the video part of the YouTube side, but I can't thank people enough for listening to this on Spotify and even on YouTube. I know there's not much to see on the YouTube side, but I guess podcasting on YouTube has its advantages, and I've got more paranormal stuff coming. So with that being said, I know this is going to be short and sweet, and I just want to thank everyone again, and I will see you at the movies.
See you next time. Bye.
Waiting for you. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Hasta la vista, baby.